Good day. In order to balance equations, you first must be able to count atoms. You have to know what a chemical formula is telling you. So on the front side of this page, it is giving you, it's actually sort of beating the horse to death. We're really going overboard. But we look at this and we say MgCl2, we got one atom magnesium, two of chlorine. When we look at this beast, AlClO3 three times, really what it's saying is we have one aluminum, and then we have the chlorate ion three times. Now some people like counting or adding, and they go, oh, 1, 2, 3 for the chlorine, or they go 3, 6, 9 for the oxygens. But multiplying is way more efficient, so we have one aluminum, and that 3 outside the brackets applies to what's inside the brackets. So we have one chlorine in there, no subscripts, so 3 times 1 is 3, and 3 times 3 is 9. Please know how to multiply by grade 10. So we look at this and we say, hey, 2 nickels, 3 sulfurs, and then 12 oxygens. And it's the same kind of deal here. Here we see that we have a 2 outside the brackets, so 2 nitrogens. 2 times 4 is 8 hydrogens, just the 2 sulfurs, and just the 3 oxygens. There's the counting recipe. You have to identify the elements. Pretty easy. You'll look for capital letters. That tells you how many different elements are in the formula. You got to get the subscript of the element. No script. Subscript means 1. And it reminds you if there's no brackets, you're just counting. If there are brackets, then the subscript outside the brackets multiplies by the subscripts inside. And here's complete overkill that I don't even want to look at. And it looks like it's got typos, so I will even fix them right now. And, oh well. Now on the back side, we are going to do examples. Not all of them, but just a few, just to make sure it's under control. What happened there? Let's try again. It's going crazy. So, there's my 1 sodium and 1 iodine, no subscript. And I know the 1 and the I are hard to tell apart. Get over it. Now, here's an aluminum and 3 chlorines. So I don't write out 1 atom aluminum, 3 atoms of chlorine. That's long-winded. That's English. We want to be efficient like chemistry. So that 1, I have to know that means 1 atom aluminum, 3 of chlorine. We'll do 2 more examples from the first round. And no surprise, 3 strontiums, 2 phosphorus. Mercury is a really weird beast. Mercury 1 doesn't exist by itself, so this actually is the right formula for that ionic compound. And you can see it's going to be a 2 and 2. So there we are, 2 mercuries, 2 chlorines. Now we're going to do some of the triple A's. And I see 3 capital letters, so I know I have 3 elements. And it's 1 of each. I have 3 capital letters, the C, and the O, 3 elements. And it's going to go 1, 1, 3. Pretty easy. I skip on down here. Oh, I finally have some brackets. 3 nitrogens, 12 hydrogens, 1 phosphorus, 4 oxygens. Boom, 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 boom. No sweat. Here I see I have 4 different elements. I have 1 sodium, 1 hydrogen, 1 carbon, and then 3 oxygens. Now you're going to say, why am I putting these little quotation marks around the oxygen? And that's just so it doesn't look like a 30 or a 40, so it doesn't look like a 0. You don't have to do that, I'll know what you mean. But this is, since it's notes, I want to be clear. So there's our 1. 2 applies to what's in the bracket, that's why we have a 2 and a 2. Here we have a 3, and then a 4 outside the brackets. 4 times 1 is 4, and then 4 times 4 is 16. And we finish off with some plum bum. 1 of those. 2 times 2 is 4, and 2 times 4 is 8. So hopefully this is easy. You've got to be able to count atoms, no problem. Now we have 1 example here that we're going to do, just to make sure you're totally understanding. So 1, 2, and 8, 2 times 1, 2 times 4, piece of cake. But 4 of these examples have coefficients. And coefficients are what we use to balance chemical equations. And they multiply by everything that follows in the formula right after them. So typically what you do is you ignore that 2, you'd go, oh, I have 1 aluminum, then you double at the end, and you'd see you have 2 aluminums. You look at your hydrogens, oh, I have 3 hydrogens, now I double it. And so I have 6 hydrogens. I have 3 sulfurs, now I double it, and I get 6 sulfurs. 3 times 4 is 12 oxygens, now I double it. So really use the coefficient in your last step. And that's why I have 24 oxygens. Now, hard for me to see these numbers here. So we have our Fe, and that better be a 2. 2 times 3 is 6. And then I see 3 times 2 is 6 for the chromium. Now I triple it, and I get 18. 3 times 7 is 21. Now I triple it. Now I get my 63. Piece of cake. Next one's in there just because it's crazy. What I want to do is I want to gather my carbons. I have 2 carbons in the brackets. Now I multiply by 5, and I get 10 carbons. 3 hydrogens times 5 is 15, and I gather my oxygens. 2 times 5 is 10. So don't put down 5 oxygens, another 5 oxygens. That would be goofy. We look at this. We have 5 calciums. Multiply by 6 is 30. We have 3 times 2, that's 6 phosphorus. Now we multiply by 6, 36. 2 times 10 is 20. Now we multiply by 6. We get our 120. 4 bismuth, that's a piece of cake. And then we have 3 times 5 is 15 carbons times 4 should be 60. And then we have 3 times 8 is 24. 24 times 4 should be 96. And 3 nitrogens times 4 should be 12. And 3 times 4 is 12. 12 times 4 should be 48. So that's about as extreme as they get. Not very difficult. And number 8 is a lot like number 5. So we have 1 palladium. And 17. Oh, got another one. 18. 18 times 4. We know that's got to be 72. And we go, oh, 35. 35 times 4 better be 140. And then we have 2 oxygens times 4, and we get our 8. So that should be very straightforward. If it wasn't, watch this video 17 more times until it makes some sense. Lots and lots of fun, but you got to be able to do this before the next stuff, balancing chemical equations. Got to be able to count before you balance.